Dan Fogelberg, leader of the band. Some say he's one of the greatest artists of all time.
Yes, and those people know much more about Dan Fogelberg than you and I, because I have never heard of him.
I've never heard of him. I've never even heard anybody say anything about him.
I'm going to be honest. I've never heard the name Dan Fogelberg. I've never heard him brought up in conversation.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, do you know who I'm going to go see tonight? Dan Fogelberg.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. What kind of music does he do?
No clue. But apparently he is the leader of the band.
Okay, well, I'm excited for this because we love doing blind reactions, and we had a good reactor friend recommend this song to us. He sent it directly a link to us and said, do this tomorrow on your channel. So
now other reaction channels would do some research and figure out some history, you know, so they could have some facts or something to drop. And yeah, that's not us. We're going to jump in blind with no clue or context of what we're listening to. Anything else you want to say? You're going to introduce yourself there, tough guy?
Yeah, before we start, guys, I am Paper Chase.
And it's the one and only Diamond Don Juan. And we are back with another reaction just for you.
That's right. We are back. All right, let's pull it up. Let's get into this. I have a feeling we're going to be pleasantly surprised.
If I think I could only have written one song in my life, it would have been Leader of the Band. Because what that meant to my father and to me, there's no way I could quantify that or even explain it. My father passed away over 10 years ago now, and he got to hear that song. He got to see this, enjoy the success of that song. People were calling him on the phone and interviewing him in his last days. You know, who is this man, the leader of the band, you know? And he loved that, and I loved that, because I respected him so much. I mean, he gave me everything I am, really. My mother and he were both musicians, and the idea of being a living legacy is really the truth. I don't think I'll ever be as accomplished a musician as he was. But I've had a different gift. It came to me in a different way. I've been able to reach and touch people with these songs that I write. And that one has probably touched more people more deeply than anything I've ever done.
Oh, I love that already.
An only child alone and wild, a cabinet maker's son. His hands were meant for different work, and his heart was known to none. He left his home and went his lone in solitary way, and it gave to me a gift I know I never can repay. A quiet man of music, denied a simpler fate. He tried to be a soldier once, but his music couldn't wait. He earned his love through discipline, a thundering velvet hand. His gentle means of sculpting souls took me years to understand. The leader of the band is tired, and his eyes are growing old, but his blood runs through my instrument, and his song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. Oh, I'm just a living legacy to the leader of the band.
Wow.
What a cool song. I mean, this isn't, I didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't this.
It wasn't this. And I mean, this is such a beautiful song. And we always come in here with jokes and humor. And this is one of the ones for that, because it's just like,
I don't think most of the ones that we start cracking up on are meant.
That's true. Good.
I mean, we've had
fair
some,
assessment. Fair
you
point.
know, out of pocket reactions to some very heartwarming songs.
Yeah, but this one's so beautiful, and I think it's just an amazing song that he wrote as an ode to his dad, you know, and I mean, it's very touching, you know, because I'm sure that it meant everything to his father. You know, like a lot of people say, like my father is my biggest hero. You know what I mean? And it takes like somebody like to be able to like be taught everything you know by your dad. Your dad's a musician, and then be able to write a song for him like that. It's so touching and beautiful.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where the story goes. And, you know, obviously, as both of us being parents, you want to be that for your kids. You want to be an inspiration for them. And sometimes, you know, kids are hard, you know, they go in their own direction. They have their own personalities, their own mindset. I was definitely, you know, a wild child. I know you were. So I think there's probably times where we probably didn't live up to our parents' expectations. So it's always an interesting dance of like, you know, wanting to be a good role model, and then also, you know, having people to look up to in your life, which sometimes, you know, you don't have those role models, a lot of people. So, you know, this is a beautiful song when you have somebody in your life that you respect so highly to, you know, give them their credit.
Absolutely.
My brother's lives were different, for they heard another call. One went to Chicago and the other to St. Paul. And I'm in Colorado when I'm not in some hotel, living out this life I have chose and come to know so well. Thank you for the music and your stories of the road. Thank you for the freedom when it came my time to go. I thank you for your kindness and the times when you got tough. And Papa, I don't think I said I love you near enough. The leader of the band is tired and his eyes are growing old, but his blood runs through my instrument and the song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. Oh, I'm just a living legacy to the leader of the band. I am a living legacy to the leader of the band.
The song leader of the band cemented our relationship. There was nothing left unsaid when he passed away.
What are you laughing at? How fucking beautiful. Oh my God.
I know that. I mean, that's the ultimate tribute that you could give to somebody, is to say that, like, you know, basically say, I can never live up to you. I mean, that's.
Yeah. And it was just the perfect homage. Like, it wasn't even all about that, too. It was just like, just basically giving him, like, telling him very clear that you were my hero, you were my inspiration, you are the reason I am the man I am today.
Yeah, I mean,
everything, you know, like that whole part reads like, I thank you for giving me the freedom when it was my turn. Because I know a lot of
putting your
parents
foot
don't
down,
do
because
that.
he said something to that degree. Of
Yeah, he said, I thank you for your kindness and for the times that you were tough.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's just like the perfect realization that, like, as a parent, you know, that's the thing, is I realized when I was young, and this is a quick side note, or when I had my daughter when she was young, it was like for a while I was being such the gentle parent because it's a
Mhm.
daughter, you know. I was really sweet to her. I'd never been a parent before. And the second I like put my foot down, I got mad. It was like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. My
Yeah.
dad is being evil right now. And it's like, you have to find that good balance, and you don't realize, like, you can think your parents tough on you and just a shitty parent all you want, but until you get older, then you realize this made me who I am today. And
Yeah, hopefully you come to that realization. I mean, that definitely was for me, like when, being a parent makes me realize like, how much my parents, or at least my mom, sacrificed, the shit that I put her through and what that must have been like to see things from the opposite side of like, wanting your child to, be successful and to, be happy in life. And there's only so much that you can do, but you have to be firm as well because, you see that. You see people that are just like too nice with their kids, and then their kids don't understand boundaries. They don't understand discipline, or you don't instill a good work ethic in them. I mean, there's so many just like, aspects of being a parent. So to have, your child, your son, be able to write a song like this is just like incredible. Like that's what every parent wants, would hope that at one point that they get like a thank you like, hey, thank you for what you did for me. And, thank you for the lessons that, you've taught me. I definitely had that conversation with my mom because she at one point was like, I feel like I could have done things like so much different, so much better. And I'm just like, there's no book.
There's no perfect way to parent.
No, because again, it's like I'm totally different from my brother. So like what worked for me wasn't going to work for my brother. And like we had different like, things that we needed. So it's like she was trying to figure it out. And that's what I realize now as well, is that it's like, hey, I'm trying to do the best that I can. And like, trying to motivate like my son because like he's super artistic. And I've tried to push him in that direction, but you can only, it's like the saying, you can lead a horse to water. So it's like, all you can do is hope that like the lessons that you're giving them and the opportunities at some point, they look back and are like, oh, I'm so glad that, I did this or did that, or that I got to experience this, or that you taught me this, or that you put my foot down. Cause that's kind of like what, I did, with my mom. Is like, I would get mad because she wouldn't help me out in certain situations or bail me out, like literally and metaphorically. And all my friends were getting these helping hands. And then I look back and I'm like, oh, all those guys ended up being like, not in a good situation, a lot of them, because they got, the bailouts.
Yeah. And
I learned the hard way, know?
And just to really touch on the song itself, I mean, the lyrics were beautifully written. The whole, you could tell the emotion and the realness in it. And I love that end part where he's like, after that I made this song, it's like nothing was left unsaid with me and my dad. Just a beautiful song. I mean, I've never heard of Dan Fogelberg before. Now I'm really excited to dive into some more of his music. If anything is like this, if all of his music is like this, I'm gonna enjoy it. I already know.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because I think one of the things that sometimes can be forgotten is people just take things for granted. I know I've done it at certain points in my life. It can be friends, it's just kind of like, oh, whatever, Chase is sitting next to me. So,
and then one day I'm going to get hit
hey,
by
I appreciate you, buddy. You know what I mean? Just like some simple things like that. Like you may not say them because you're just like, yeah, whatever, where it's not a big deal, or, they know how much I care, or they know that I appreciate them, but you never really know. It's like sometimes just taking the time to call somebody up and be like, hey man, I love you, I appreciate you, means the world, because you never know if you're granted tomorrow. He got the, joy of writing this song and having time to spend with his dad and feeling like, hey, I let it all out, told him exactly how I felt. And what a great message and a great story.
Yeah. When my dad passed away, he was living with me. He was battling cancer. He was battling, I won't go too into it, but he's battling legal issues and just going through, honestly, like more than, like, it was like shocking how much he was dealing with. Like, he already beat cancer twice. He got diagnosed with colon cancer. He was facing a lengthy thing, a legal battle that I won't get into. And then he died of a heart attack because of the stress, you know what I mean? And it was like during that time, me and him just kind of reconnected, and we never got to like sit down and have like that like real talk. It was like we were just like buddies again because we just like reconnected after a while. And you know, my sister told me afterwards that he held on to all this regret and and he just felt like he like completely let me down as a dad. And we never got to have that talk, you know. And he was taken instantly. Like he had a heart attack and he died. Like he had a heart attack and was dead, you know, by the time I got to the hospital.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I hear songs like this, it brings up a lot of emotions, but at the same time, like I don't know, in a weird way, it's like cathartic because it helps me like, you know, realize that that's okay. And I do believe in like the afterlife. And I do believe like my dad was able to, first off, let go of all that pain and suffering and anxiety and stress that he was going through. Because it was literally to the point when he died where I was like, honestly, this is probably the best thing that could have happened to him because he was going up against, you know, going up against it. And I just know, you know, that, you know, I can now realize like how much he did for me growing up and how much he shaped me into the person I am. And he was a hard dad. Like he was tough as fuck on me. Yeah. But at the same, and it kind of pushed me away, but it like instilled this like sense of like me knowing I can do whatever. But anyways, like, I don't know, you know, songs like this definitely hit home and I love it.
I mean, I think that's important though, because that's what the song is about to a degree. It's not just like the you know, the message of saying, hey, I love you and thank you so much, but of getting that message out because, you know, not that this is like so much in this song, but oftentimes we don't have those conversations because they are hard. You know, it's hard to have that conversation if there's like, you know, past shit in your relationship and you don't know how it's going to turn out. It's like, you know, telling somebody like, hey, you know, I know that I messed up, or, you know, I wanted to talk to you about this scenario that happened, and getting that out in the open. It's like, it can be tough. Like, you know, it can be a struggle, but it's like, you don't want to go through life holding on to that stuff and having regrets that like, I never got a chance to tell this person in my life like how I felt, or even just clear the air and just say like, hey, you know, that was fucked up what you did. Like sometimes that actually opens the door to like having like healing in that, to be able to just say, hey, this has been bothering me for a long time and I just need to get this off my chest. You know?
See, I'm really bad at that. I've always been really bad at that. Like like for me, it's like if I have like a fallout with somebody or something, like I'm good at forgiving. And I'll come back and like forgive that person and
do you
make
really
it right.
Though?
Yeah, no, I honestly do. I've had some pretty.
But I mean, like, I'll let you finish. Sorry.
No, I've had some pretty bad like friendships that like I was done dirty as fuck, like so dirty. And I was, you know, years later, I come back and I'm like, you know, hey man, how you been? Like, let's the past is the past, whatever. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, some of those people, there's a common theme with a lot of people. Like once they're like, they don't even want to rehash anything. They don't even give a fuck about anything. I just don't like to have like that emotional one-on-one conversation about what happened. That's not something I usually do with people, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I haven't always been good at that, but I kind of did some work. There's this like thing called Landmark, and they basically like, you know, that's the whole thing. You call all these people in your life and like just have those conversations. It's like literally like pick up the phone. Like that's the whole point of it. It's like pick up the phone. They lead you through exercises and different ways of like looking at scenarios. And like people who have done it, there's like a love-hate. Some people are like, oh, it's kind of culty, whatever. I thought it was great because that's like what the focus was. And I actually did the work and I like made those phone calls to like almost every person in my life. That's where that conversation with my mom came up because, you know, I was just like, hey, like, I'm sorry for what a shitty kid I was. Like, I'm sorry. And had a convo with my stepdad, just like thanking him for everything that he did. And it was actually one of the best things that I ever did in my life because it was like nothing was unsaid. It like opened the door. And part of it was like difficult convos to where, you know, with my stepdad and my mom, I had to have a conversation where I was like, hey, I'm an adult and I know that you feel like I'm always going to be your kid and I always will be your kid, but I don't want to have conversations like, you know, a parent to a child anymore. Like I'm going to make my own decisions. Some of them are going to be bad, but when I come here to your house, I don't want to be like, you know, patronized and, you know, talked to like a child and fucking 30 something, you know what I mean? Like, that's not the conversations I want to have with you. I want to sit down and I want to have conversations with you, but it's got to be on a different level. Like we've got to, you know, mature. And so that changed everything. Now we still have those parental conversations, but it completely changed our relationship, how we communicated with each other, and then also just acknowledging them both. And then having difficult conversations with my dad that it was just like, you know, I just need to get this out. Like I need to say these things. I don't want to carry this weight anymore. And other people in my life as well. You know, there's a ton of people that, you know, just needed to have those conversations where it was like, hey, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Did you have that conversation like that with your boyfriend? Had to break. We had to end on a good note. We had to end on a funny note. But absolutely, man. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are on all that, and you know what you guys do to kind of, you know, show the people in your life that you love them, that you appreciate them. This song is beautiful. It brought up just a bunch of great conversation, and these are my favorite type of videos to react to.
Yeah, it's great, and definitely nice surprise coming into it blind.
Absolutely.
I had no idea.
Thank you guys. Thank goodness we didn't come into it deaf.
True. Hey.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And we will see you on the next one.
Peace.